I think one thing with Pete Alonso, I love the phrase "the best ability is availability." Like, this guy's a great player. Oh, Cody Bellinger's great. Yeah, but he plays 120 games a year. He's missing 40. Pete Alonso's playing 40 more games. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
boom, coming in hockey. Oh no. Coming in hot titchy. I tried to put it together. Coming in
I know. Well,
hot tea.
dude, you're so busy. You're tongue tied because we're going to start like a half hour ago, but you get green flied by all the celebrities and the big guys coming back upstairs. Took you an hour to get upstairs to do this show. What were you hanging with? Give us some names. Drop some names.
Well, dude, I got coffee this morning with Carlos Mendoza, and that was great. So Mendy and I got there early, like 8 a.m. We're sitting there, dude. As soon as like it's almost like when you wake up before your kids early and you get your journaling in, you got your coffee, you take a nice walk. No one's up. The birds aren't even up. But as soon as you hear the birds start going, you're like, all right, life's going to start happening here. As soon as the sun comes out, my neighbors, my neighbors are going to be up. The kids are up for school. Now we're rolling. Like, that's how it was this morning, dude. It was like the birds weren't out yet. Mendy and I were getting some coffee about 8 a.m. Nobody's in the lobby. But the coffee ended about 9 a.m. and the birds were out, dude, and freaking it was rolling. And so next thing I know, dude, there's so many people here. Dude, baseball's a small fraternity. Anyone in the industry, the front office, everyone knows each other. So, like, you don't realize, you haven't seen guys in years. So, like, Kyle Orso, Marucci Bats, one of good buddy of mine, got to see him last night, which was cool. John McDonald, Johnny Mack, back in the day. I run into Johnny Mack. And then I was coming out today. I was leaving. I ran into my first GM in Watertown, New York. And when I was in low A ball, incredible. So cool to see him. But then I'm walking out. I see Katie Haas from, who's Jess's boss.
Yeah.
Dude, Katie's awesome. So I had a cool conversation with her. Matter of fact, Jess was like, hey, Katie is right near you. So I was like, I went and found her. So that was cool. We had a great conversation with her.
Nice.
And then I was walking out to the elevators, come up to do the show. I run into Teddy Walsh, who was my first clubby for the Cleveland Indians. Had a great conversation there. And then Pat Murphy walks up, manager of the Brewers, and he's like, "What's up, dude?" And then me and him start talking hitting. We're talking about hitting approach and all that stuff. Yeah. And then the new bench coach for the White Sox comes up. And then next to him, Matt Adams. Remember Matt Adams?
Yeah, I love Matt Adams.
Matt Adams comes up, and I'm like, "What's up, Matt Adams?" And then I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm meeting Josh Barfield." Then Josh Barfield, what's up, Josh Barfield? And I'm like, "I gotta go. I got a podcast to do with Chich. I gotta get out of here." So I had so much action within 20 minutes. It was incredible.
You need next year. You got to bring a bodyguard or something. Or maybe I'll play bad cop. That was one of my favorite things when I was at MLB playing bad cop. When like you guys would be walking, I'd be like, "Hey, no more autographs, everybody. He's got to go. We got to take him." And you guys have to be like, "I'm sorry, they're making me do this," even though you don't want to be there. That's a good little trick of the trade. What's the vibe, dude? Is it all Soto? Is everybody just talking about Soto?
Dude, right now there hasn't been a ton of action, which is for us, we're like, come on, we want the action. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Soto's the big conversation piece. Obviously, I was talking to Mendy, and he was just so excited that they got him, and how it all played out, and just great conversation with him just about their team and all that stuff, and that was really good. So he's waiting to talk to Soto. I think it has to be official before he really talks to him.
Yeah, like legal.
I think Soto's on his way up to New York, kind of get the physical, make sure it gets wrapped up and stuff. So, so that was cool. But obviously, I was even talking to Mendy saying, "Hey, dude, I know it's great you got Soto, but you always need pitching. You can never have enough pitching. Look at the Dodgers; they're still bringing Snell, Blake Trine. The Dodgers are getting ahead of it. You always need pitching. And then the Mets still need pitching. There's no doubt about it. So I think everyone's excited. Obviously, that Soto's going to the Mets, but at the end of the day, Chinch, you and I know, and everyone in this industry knows, you win on the bump, and you better have 7, 8, starter deep. It seems like nowadays. Frankie Montas they signed, but that's not enough. Frankie Montas is a 5. You need a couple twos, couple ones and twos.
The other thing is, first of all, the market got bigger, right? Like the Severino, like these deals, we're looking at like tens of millions of dollars more than most, I think, franchises thought that they were going to have to pay for pitching, which is why the guy I'm reading a lot about today and watching is the Garrett Crochet trade. Like, you want to make a trade right now so you don't have to give somebody that 3-year. These guys are making almost $30 million a year. It's like some of the mid-market pitchers. So, but funny thing is, though, I see Morosi yesterday morning all about like the Red Sox being really into him. Then Nightingale's like, whoa, hold on, here come the Yankees and the Mets. And it's like everybody's jumping in on this thing. We don't know what it is, but that's a guy, dude. He's 24, 25. Him and the White Sox don't really get along great because of that. Remember during the trade deadline last year, he kind of went public saying I would want to go to this team or that team. And it really put the White Sox in a tough spot this year. So I think they've probably found common ground between him and the organization, and they're shopping him pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, now the interesting thing here in New York, I guarantee you this is a leak because the New York line is the Yankees and Mets are both in on Crochet. That has to come from like the agent, because the agent now wants now you want to pit the Yankees and Mets against each other because Yankee fans are going bananas going, we lost the guy. We never lose the guy to the Mets. Right. So it's interesting. I don't know.
No, it's really interesting. And that's definitely a vibe here too. Like that feeling that like Cohen's the new George Steinbrenner. You do have to like, because there's a lot of Yankee, people that work at the network too. So when it was kind of funny talking through yesterday, but it is probably how all of Major League Baseball felt for years with George Steinbrenner at the helm, where you're like, well, you're not getting that guy because the Yankees, if the Yankees want him, they're getting him. They're going to pay for him, Mm-hmm. And so there is something about, that whole thing is, is it a changing of the guard with Stevie Cohen, with the Mets and, everything like that. So, it's pretty cool. But, getting back to Crochet, I mean, that's a top of the rotation arm that, that guy is so nasty from the left side, and he's young with controllable years. So that's a guy that interests so many teams right now because you're right. You could trade some prospects or some big league ready guys to get a frontline starter. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the biggest things. So, but where's Manaea going to land? Where's Corbin Burns going to land? Where's Max Fried going to land? There's
Roki Sasaki. Don't forget.
Yeah, Roki Sasaki's going to the Dodgers. I think.
It's funny. I know. I mean, why wouldn't he? Like they're like, joining the world of baseball together in that franchise. I mean, it's
dude. One thing I heard today that really, really interests me.
What's that?
And I won't say where I heard it from because it's a really reputable source, and I think it's just really cool. He was saying the worst deal that was probably signed last offseason. What do you think it was?
I can't even off the top of my head, guys.
What was the biggest deal signed last year?
Oh, the other Japanese pitcher that went to
no, it was Ohtani.
Oh, Ohtani.
10 years, $700 million, dude, is going to turn out to be like he shortchanged himself so bad.
Oh, you're saying worst deal for him?
For him, like dude, because
if Soto happened this year, then he would have gotten $1 billion.
Dude, exactly. And I heard the Dodgers are making $200 million off him this year. Every year they make $200 million off him because of the international superstar, the marketing, the money they get from revenue. So think about what they have to pay him. Even whatever it is, say it's $70 million, they make $200 million a year, so they make $130 million. You should have been like, listen, this is what you're going to make off me. I'll split that with you down. I think it should have been way over $1 billion. Now that you look at Soto, dude, Ohtani is a unicorn. Ohtani is one of the best pitchers and hitters in the game. You just gave him $700 million. You just gave Juan Soto, who's the hitter, $756 million. Juan Soto is not bringing in $200 million in extra revenue a year for your club.
And he's not coming back to start next year. And he's already not the best outfielder on the Mets, if we really want to go down that road.
Exactly.
That's the interesting thing. You paid that much money for a bat. Just for the baseball bat, like nothing else, really. I mean, he's tremendous, but that is a great point, dude. That's an unbelievable. What do you think about our? There's a few guys out there, but wait, you know what? Let's stick with Pete Alonso, dude. I'm surprised. Like, I would think by today he would be the next ship to fall offensively, but it's quiet. It's like a little quiet right. The whole thing is
What,
kind of
what,
quiet
what,
right
what
now.
would you do? What would you do? Pete Alonso's looking for 8 years.
Right.
No one's giving Pete Alonso 8 years. I mean, he's 31, right?
Yeah, you know the funny thing to me though is the oxymoron of this. The guy paid over the last 4 years. He is the most durable player in baseball.
I agree.
162 last year. On a down year, he still hit like 35, right? But just because of that age, dude, it's almost like a discriminatory. It's like, well, he's gonna break down. These guys break down at that age. Well, he just played 162 games.
Right.
He's like
Right.
peak strength, I guess. I don't know. You were a big guy. You guys are kind of built very similarly.
Well, dude,
Like,
also, too, when you don't run like super fast like that and your body's like that, you're
yeah, you
not
know,
pulling a ton of stuff. So you can play. Seriously, you can play.
right. Ricky Henderson at the end of his career couldn't be Ricky
Right.
Henderson.
Look at Mike.
But
Look
like
at Mike
Albert
Trout.
Pujols,
These guys.
right? But look at Albert Pujols could still hit 40.
Right.
I mean, he was hitting 220.
Right.
But the last 6 or 7, the 7th and 8th year of a Pete Alonso contract, I still think he can hit 30 home runs and hit 210 in those last 2
Well,
years.
but I hear what you're saying, and there's, but I think the value is more in like, is it more of like a Bellinger deal? 3 years, 90 million. 3 years, 90 million. But bigger annual value or whatever. But I think one thing with Pete Alonso, I love the phrase "the best ability is availability." Like, this guy's a great player. Oh, Cody Bellinger's great. Yeah, but he plays 120 games a year. He's missing 40. Pete Alonso's
Right.
playing 40 more games. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that, like, the mentality to play 162. I remember talking to Mendy about him, knowing that, like, hey, if Alonso had a little bit of a fever at 5 o'clock or something, at 7 o'clock he's in the game. Like, he's
Yeah.
gonna, when you look at that lineup, Lindor and Alonso, you don't have to worry about shortstop or first base every night. You know how great that is for a manager, dude? Like, there's value in that. So, like,
Right.
and also his power. Like, he hit 34 home runs. Yeah, he played every day. And one other thing about Pete Alonso, dude, and I gotta do a breakdown on this because this is important. Is that people talk about his defensive metrics. They talk about that because he doesn't go to his right that great, bro. This guy is one of the best pickers in the game. He scoops
He fixed
everything,
everything.
dude. And he's got great footwork too over there. So like,
Yeah, he
your
can
main
he
job as a
stretch.
first baseman, bro, is to make your other infielders better. I don't give a shit if you don't go to your right and I missed it. No, stop. Your job is if that guy makes a diving play in the hole, or Lindor's got to get rid of one quicker with a guy running, and he can't get it there on a fly. You got to be able to pick it. Pete Alonso is elite at picking it, and that's what a real first baseman is, elite at that. So for me, I'm like, the defensive match. He's not that great defensively. No, he is. He's elite at what first basemen need to do, and that's pick the ball in the dirt and have good footwork over there and be a nice target.
That's a great call. How about like, you can't do this. You can't mentally do this to yourself, but what if you take like a 1-year deal for the Astros and hit 60 next year? Because he would hit 60, and I think the best fit for his statistical career would to go and play in Houston. I don't know if I actually would think would be an exciting year if Soto went to the Mets and Alonso went to the Yankees, and then like the whole season would be just crazy with that. But I don't know. You gotta have. He's arguably the second best power hitter of his generation behind Aaron Judge. Only guy that has more home runs than him. Only
I
guy.
agree.
162 games.
So
plays
if you're the
defense.
Mets, what would you give him, and what do you think? How many years? Because I think the number's 30 a year.
I mean, if you think he is the best thing for your team, then give it to him. You already if you're giving Soto 760, you're going all in, right? And I don't know. I guess Heyman just said today, Alonso's team said, Mets, you guys are going to get the last offer. We're bringing you our best offer back to you. So it's kind of ball in Mets court, I think, when it all comes down to it. But again, if it's too much money, then just
Chips, don't
no.
forget, bro. How excited were we about the Mets this year getting to the, Game 6 of the NLCS? Pretty awesome, right? Especially in your house.
Right.
Hey, guy, they're not there unless Pete Alonso hits that 3-run home run in the last game in Milwaukee off Devin Williams, where no one has hit a changeup off him all year for a homer. He's the only guy to do it. We're not even talking about their year if Pete Alonso doesn't start doesn't come up with that hit and start hitting some of the home runs that he did down the
Yeah.
stretch. Like he's the guy. He's a game-changing bat, dude. He's not nobody.
Not too big for him. He's been playing in New York for this whole time. It's never been too
Right.
big for him. It's never been too big for him. So that's another part when you're signing a guy, right? Juan Soto's, he proved last year no market is too big for Juan Soto. I think Alonso's the same way. Now, how about the guys next tier, different level of playing in their career? Nolan Arenado, 4 or 5 teams in on him. He had a real down year last year. In the power game, still arguably maybe the best defensive third baseman in baseball. Do you like the? So there's like there's the Bellingers,
Bregman. Dude,
Bregman.
I think
Go ahead.
Bregman's the guy that that we got to lean in on a little bit because I know that I'd be shocked if he leaves Houston. I think he's going back to Houston, but
Wow.
Tom Verducci did a nice breakdown yesterday on MLB Network talking about his numbers at Fenway are the best. He's the best player at Fenway Park. He has that pull swing. He likes to get out front, and that monster. I mean, he probably hit 330 out there at Fenway.
I mean, he is Dustin Pedroia in a lot of ways.
Seriously,
Like,
yeah, there's a lot of comps to Pedroia. A lot of comps.
Wow.
So
I like
I mean,
that. Red Sox are quietly in on everything, from what I'm reading today.
The Red Sox,
are
dude,
quietly-
the Red Sox. I think the number was they put through $700 million at Soto. So they were in.
Yeah. Blue Jays
They were
too.
in.
Don't
Blue
sleep on the
Jays are
Blue
in too.
Jays
The
right
Blue
now.
Jays need to make a move too. There's a lot of teams that obviously need to make some moves. But I think Corbin Burns, if I had to guess, probably is going to end up with the Giants. That's just that's a guess. I think it makes sense. He's from out that way.
Right.
Buster Posey seems like he's doing some good things, I think that might be something that
Right. And the other team we're not talking about, who say that they're in on every single pitcher, is the Baltimore Orioles. And they're so close, man. They only lost that division to the Yankees by 3. We keep forgetting that.
you can't.
And, hey, how about Holiday's other brother might get drafted number 1 tonight?
No, tonight's not the draft. No, tonight's the draft
Isn't it?
lottery.
Oh, the draft lottery.
Yeah,
sorry.
Ethan Holiday's probably going to be the number 1 pick. Dude, when I went out and hit last year with Jake to the holidays, it was me, Ethan, Jackson, and Heston Kjerstad. And if you closed your eyes or if you just looked from afar, you didn't know who anybody was. You'd be like, oh, that's the best. That's the best bat of this group. It was Ethan. He was a junior at the time.
Wow.
He was a junior at the time. He's legit, nice kid, great family, dude. They're just great people.
Yeah, we root for them. Yeah, the lottery's all excited. All the teams are excited. The number 1 option, the Rockies have the most percentage chance of getting it, but
Wouldn't that be funny? I mean, Matt Holliday's, most of his career was in Colorado.
I mean, yeah. The Reds are all excited too. The Reds have a shot at a pretty.
Dude,
decent
I was on air last night with Terry Francona. Man, we had a blast. I mean, we were crushing each other. It was pretty funny. But dude, I'm just really excited. I know I said it before, but really excited for the Reds fans, dude. I mean, he is such. Dude, I'm just excited for the Reds, dude. I just think Tito's the right guy. It's an incredible fit, and you could feel Nick Kral's out here. Obviously, I've run into a lot of the Reds guys, and there's just a vibe. There's a vibe about Tito going there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I just heard one thing. I don't know about this. You would know, because I bet you talked to him about it. But I heard Anthony Rizzo's name with the Pittsburgh Pirates this morning.
Wow.
Interesting. For like a 1-year deal to kind of reset his market for himself.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. That means you
Dude.
really know something, or you really don't know something right now. That's the strong case of space where I'm like, he don't know nothing, or he doesn't.
I definitely do know something a little bit, but I think Riz has more left in the tank, and I think it'd be great for him to, Pittsburgh's a place you could go reset.
I will tell you this: Yankee fans want Rizzo back, big time, more than anything,
Dude, Riz is the leader. Riz is the leader in that clubhouse. That stuff matters. I'm telling you, dude. Him and Judge are best of buddies.
Yeah, he's like a player manager. Honestly,
Yeah,
he's like a modern day player manager at this point in his career, I think. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, it's interesting. Whose show are you on this evening? Who are you with?
I'm on MLB tonight. I think 5 to 7 with a ton of. I mean, we talked to Scott Harris yesterday of the Tigers. We talked to Brian Snitker.
Mm-hmm.
He said who gave a nice little update on Ronald Acuna. Said he's doing well. Said Strider's on pace. Scott Harris was talking about Riley Green and Scooble, and that was pretty cool. Tito was on. Who else was on? The McCullough, the new manager for the Marlins was on, which is pretty cool because he, bringing a, they talk about a lot about him helping Ohtani be a great base stealer.
Oh wow!
So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, he had some good stuff to talk about the Dodgers because he was the first base coach for the Dodgers last year.
Yeah.
But dude, it's fun running into guys. It's we're gonna have a ton of guys on the show tonight too. So
Great. That makes it easy. They fly by when you can do the interviews, and you've been great. You guys have all been great. I love.
Yeah,
it.
thanks, dude. Dude. Yeah. People just keep coming on set.
And Adnan talks a mile a minute, and it's so funny. And I mean that in the most complimentary way. But like, I love you guys together. It's fun.
Oh, he's the best, dude. Adnan's the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
So great.
All right, well, enjoy that. Don't get caught by those green flies too much on your way down after to the lobby.
No, I will. Dude, I was going. Dude, I was gonna. This is what my morning was. I was gonna have coffee with Mendy. I was gonna go get a nice workout in. I was gonna go pellet, do my stuff, the stuff I do. None of that happened. None of that happened.
It's tough out there, man. And then you're also probably gonna have a porterhouse tonight. Like, it's a tough week. It's a tough week for health, dude, out there.
I know.
Yeah, like, thank goodness you don't drink anymore. Some of those dudes are polishing off double bottle.
Dude, there was so many drinks being.
It's crazy at that point.
There was so many drinks being thrown. I literally woke up this morning saying, "Thank God I don't drink anymore."
Right? Oh, that's.
I got my wits about me. Everything's good. I can get ready to go.
Yeah, because you're not.
Don't have to shake off any cobwebs.
Yeah, and those guys aren't. They're doing like high end, like highball drinks and stuff. Oh, I forgot how gross that is. Anyway, all right, to each his own. All right, dude, enjoy the day.
All right, brother. You too. Have a great day. And for everyone out there, thanks for listening. Appreciate you. And Chichi's going to put the Breakthrough Pro.
Yep.
Course January 5th. It starts. Let's go. Come join us.
It's coming right.
Great 8 weeks. So, all right, bro. I love you, man.
Love you.
I'll get you some more info, some more inside scoop.
All right.
Let's do it. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, buddy.